Welcome back. At this time, let's hear from one of our most distinguished team members. This man's business acumen has made him known all across the island. Please welcome the chairman of the JSEZA board, Mr. Christopher Levy.
Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Minister of Economic Growth, the Honorable Aubin Hill. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett. British High Commissioner of Jamaica, His Excellence Asif Ahmad. Ambassador of Japan to Jamaica, His Excellence Ambassador Masaya Fujiwara. Deputy Director of Singapore Corporation Enterprise, Mr. Daniel Say. Directors, executives, and team members of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, local and international participants. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural JSEZA Virtual Summit. Having been recently appointed to the role of chairman of this organization, I'm truly humbled by the honor of being at the helm during this unprecedented season of new and diverse opportunities. And while we long to see you here in Jamaica, we are grateful that the technology allows us to stay close to you, our international and local stakeholders. As the world begins to emerge from the impact of the COVID-19, countries, companies, and investors will be looking for investment opportunities, such as nearshore locations. As an investor myself, I can give account for the incredible advantages available to businesses who have considered strategic geopositioning towards improved logistics and greater efficiencies. In the poultry industry, we've been able to create a vertically integrated model right here in Jamaica, strategically positioned near Port Esquivel in St. Catherine, where we receive shipments of grain and other inputs. As we are all aware, the international supply chain has been dealt serious blows throughout the pandemic. But having invested in our own hub of sorts, with a collection of large silos, we've been able to secure grain by the ton, which allows us some amount of flexibility as prices fluctuate internationally. I offer this perspective to you as a testimonial that Jamaica is well positioned as a logistics hub, which can serve both the local and the needs of international investors. We have the capability here to improve some of the world's supply chains. And this is not limited to our location, our infrastructure, our people, and our culture. Give us all a strategic advantage if we move with urgency. Globally, sustainability is another key driving factor that is impacting investment decisions, which means that companies must now adapt to a marketplace that is growing in its social and environmental consciousness. Special economic zones, therefore, must continue to help Jamaica to move away from traditional commodities and modalities in an effort to create a sustainable and competitive economy. Throughout its 5-year existence, the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority has played a critical role in beginning to drive the Jamaican economy. There are currently approximately 190 entities operating in the country's SEZs, with a combined total investment of more than $1.7 billion. JSEZA has worked with nearly 200 companies on facilitating a strategic focus on innovation and operational efficiencies at the core of each organization. This continues to be the imperative as we strive to secure the Jamaican marketplace as both cutting edge and price competitive in today's global economy. We're excited about where we stand and will continue in our efforts to build on this solid foundation of investment, growth, and job creation for the people of Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, many Jamaicans will remember the establishment of free zones in our country dating back to the 1970s. It was an exciting time, bringing job creation and new wealth to the landscape. But what was good is always made better when we commit to evaluating every element, rethinking and retooling to bring greater scope. What we realized when we took a closer look at this model was that though our people were being employed, no individual left with a thorough understanding of the overall process. Simply, without the transfer of knowledge, the model could not be sustained, and persons were unable to ascend to a new level of earning power. JSEZA has successfully transitioned over 100 entities from free zones to SEZs during the 2019-2020 fiscal year, and we have received and processed over 80 applications for new investments in the SEZ regime. This is what we're all about. JSEZA regulates and supervises SEZs through administration, issuance of guidelines and directions to developers, occupants, and zone users in relation to Jamaica's SEZ Act. We owe a debt of gratitude for your forbearance over the past few years as we fine-tuned a workable SEZ Act with regulations in sync with other similar acts in the World Free Zone SEZ entities. Governance and compliance are central to the successful integration of SEZs within the local landscape, as effective structures of governance maintain healthy corporate goals, such as social responsibility and environmental stability, as competitive elements in the marketplace. Today, we're here to share our knowledge to help you to navigate and take advantage of opportunities which will make your investment more sustainable and competitive internationally. The fiscal benefits enjoyed also require legislative responsibilities that you will have to fulfill. Some of you may deem them cumbersome. However, as prudent investors, I know you will have considered that in addition to the incentives that we have carved out for the SEZ community, solid governance presents opportunities to manage risks and add value for your businesses. And as a facilitating regulator, we have formed partnerships through MOUs which aim to make the process seamless with two of our main partners, the Tax Administration of Jamaica and the Customs Agency. As facilitators, we've also established our Business Acceleration Aftercare program, which you will hear more about later in the course of these presentations. Our core mandate is to regulate the space, as we have an obligation to ensure that the fiscal benefits increase job creation and spur new investments while operating within the ambit of the international trade agreements such as the World Trade Order and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is through these sensible regulations that we will protect the country. In addition to governance, JSEZA is focused on the principles of social and economic and environmental sustainability through workforce development, shared prosperity, initiatives, and building for climate resilience and other environmental considerations. You may recall that all United Nations member states adopted the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. It was against this backdrop of the universal call to action to ensure that development protects the planet and preserves the resources for future generations that the Special Economic Zone Act came into force in August 2016. The Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority was later established in February 2017 with a mandate for facilitating the development, regulation, construction, supervision, and control of special economic zones. It is important to note that the government of Jamaica has established as a national priority the Logistics Hub Initiative, which seeks to transform Jamaica into a logistics-centered economy. And each priority policy was developed with the Sustainable Development Goals in mind. Jamaica, like most small island developing states, faces the effects of climate change due to its high vulnerability to the impacts of climate-related events and natural disasters. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the economy to the ravages of a synchronized global economic recession. What the JSEZA is implementing currently is a coherent vision of sustainable development that is inclusive and resilient. To enhance the country's sustainable growth and resilience, the authority created its sustainability development guidelines to reimagine and reshape the expansion of existing zone entities and the development of new special economic zones in keeping with its objectives. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals reinforce Jamaica's commitment to its Vision 2030 National Development Plan, along with incorporating the principles of a smart city design. The authority has embodied the development goals in its blueprint to achieve better and more sustainable zones. Jamaica, through the establishment of JSEZA, in 5 short years has already begun to facilitate these investments. But this is just the beginning. There is much to be accomplished, and through the use of effective promotion showcasing all that our fabulous island has to offer, accompanied by an attitude of facilitating investors, the impact on Jamaica will be significant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a partnership to grow a sustainable economy for everyone's future. SEZs are a proven economic driver, and therefore creating shared prosperity through a symbiotic relationship with our local and international investors is top of mind. If we can create the synergy necessary to build together, then the economic growth for Jamaica looks really good. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank our Portfolio Minister and the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, for his policy direction and guidance, and also Senator the Honorable Aubin Hill, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and our current Chairman, Christopher Levy. I would also like to thank our former Minister, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, and Chairman Mitri Siaga, as well as our Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Audrey Sewell, for their contribution and guidance to Jamaica's Special Economic Zone Authority. I'd also like to extend apologies on behalf of Dr. Eric Deans, who is unavoidably unable to make this presentation. Dr. Deans has been instrumental in the development of Jamaica's Global Logistics Hub initiative and has led this authority from its inception to its success to date. When we launched our Special Economic Zone journey 5 years ago, we had no way of knowing the world would be in the grips of the worst social, economic, and environmental catastrophe it has faced in several generations. The COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc by devastating the health and economic well-being of nations and individuals. On top of this, the cascading effects of climate change continues to destabilize the environment. It is within this context that the small island developing state of Jamaica is building a resilient SEZ regime. From the conceptualization of the SEZ regime, it was recognized that Jamaica is a tropical paradise, highly dependent on tourism. Therefore, any proposed large-scale industrial development or ventures into diverse non-traditional industries had to involve the sustainable use of resources. The world is also more conscious about these issues with the United Nations adoption of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. For our part, we not only adopted the SDGs in our SEZ development guidelines, we went further to incorporate the uniquely Jamaican principles of sustainability. To help you to understand the concept, let me paint a picture. Our greatest resource, our people, are seeking to achieve their full potential and destiny, which is our ultimate objective. Tertiary education remains at the center of economic well-being, and its import may have grown due to its importance in a knowledge economy. Education and training are necessary for growth, both through its direct contribution to skills and workforce quality, and also because of the ways in which it adds competencies, such as critical thinking, creativity, teamwork, and self-learning. These contribute to entrepreneurship, mobility, and the capacity to process information and new ideas. Workforce capacity building is therefore woven into the fabric of the Special Economic Zone development. In the design and development of today's Special Economic Zones, we recognize our responsibility to use natural resources sustainably and to protect them for future generations. This is the context and philosophy of sustainability. If practiced in its truest sense, it will create abundant opportunities for sustainable development. When the developed world gazes upon our land of wood and water and begins to understand our vision of doing business in paradise, they will see us as practitioners in the ongoing global economic, social, and environmental expeditions, and that we must pursue to succeed at a balance for mutual prosperity, health, and well-being. The National Strategic Framework to foster Jamaica's growth and development is established under Vision 2030 Jamaica National Development Plan. Vision 2030's central tenets towards the attainment of the national goals aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals, and its outcomes on individual well-being, including sustainable and inclusive economic growth, driven by higher forms of capital, namely human, knowledge, and cultural. The plan recognizes the role of private investment in advancing those national outcomes that are most directly related to sustainable and inclusive growth, such as macroeconomic stability, an enabling business environment, technological enablement, energy security and efficiency, strong and resilient economic infrastructure, and internationally competitive industry structures. It also links the world-class education and training, effective social protection, environmental sustainability, and effective governance among the drivers of value creation and productivity. The plan promotes the creation of an environment for the economic development that prioritizes decent work, sustainable consumption and production, and a focus of equality and equity. Also arising from the National Development Plan, Jamaica developed a strategic plan for the transportation and logistics sector. This includes a vision to have a sustainable, safe, and competitive transport network that provides world-class air, land, rail, and marine facilities that can boost trade and industry conducted in special economic zones. A strategic priority of this plan is to make use of the natural comparative advantage that Jamaica has due to its geographic location and its natural resources. The specific priority was therefore to develop a regional logistics hub with multimodal transport linkages supporting services, manufacturing, and distribution, thereby realizing the vision, Jamaica, the logistics gateway interconnecting the Americas to the world. Jamaica's Global Logistics Hub Master Plan aims to build out over 3,900 hectares of island-wide infrastructure valued approximately US $28 billion worth of investment. The JSEZA Authority has been the main agent in charge of the implementation of several pillars located in the Logistics Hub Master Plan. We have been working assiduously with international partners to develop the implementation plans for some of these pillars. These initiatives include ensuring the authority is sound with supportive regulatory and legislative frameworks. This will allow us to oversee the development of efficient, productive infrastructure and transport logistics systems, promoting the plan to local and international stakeholders, as well as facilitating sustainable financing for the projects. Aligning closely with the government's goal of making Jamaica a global logistics hub is the implementation of the special economic zones. The aim is to attract foreign investors and enterprises to the country, as well as provide a platform for the growth of local investors. During the year 2020, and in spite of COVID pandemic, there were several initiatives that were being developed to increase the incentives of conducting business in these special economic zones. Critical to this vision is the incorporation of the country's lifestyle, natural beauty, diverse landscape, and our interesting culture and heritage. The protection of the marine and terrestrial resources and the natural beauty of our island's nation is embodied in the Sustainable Development Goals. This environmental aspect of the development plan, as part of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone's Sustainable Development Framework, will make Jamaica a sought-after destination for business and investment. The authority has embraced the Sustainable Development Framework and has developed the concept Sustainability as a means of ensuring that SEZs meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The authority, therefore, uses the environmental, economic, and social criteria, as well as governance, to assist the design and evaluation of sustainable SEZ proposals. We look forward to sharing the true wealth of our island paradise. The authority also won the bid to host the World Free Zones Organization's annual international conference and exhibition, which is scheduled for June 2022. And so, in another 383 days, we look forward to meeting you here in Jamaica, where you will experience the warmth of our people, the beauty of our island, an exciting conference program that will leave you quite knowledgeable and informed about the World Free Zone Organization's wide range of services. This they offer to over 3,500 free zones across the world, as well as get an opportunity to see new and innovative goods and services of international exhibitors. While you are here, or by means of a wide range of communication networks, we invite you to meet with our team and gain the information that may help your organization identify the next investment destination. We are positioned in Jamaica to enhance your global supply chain and services and to assist your organization to become far more resilient and sustainable. We welcome you to invest in Jamaica's SEZ and realize success, and we remind you, Jamaica connects. Please enjoy your time with us and the remainder of our partner speakers. Thank you.